Hello on this very winter day. I'm filming this with the snow coming down outside. Beautiful. Listen, we have been talking amongst ourselves in our studio about, coming back out of COVID, coming back into the studio as teachers. Some people are still kind of noticing they're not really coming off their mat very much or touching people. There's still a hesitancy. If you used to be a teacher that assisted and touched people while you worked, you might have stopped because of COVID, right? We all went into our little, got on our yoga mat raft and never got off of it again. And others may feel more comfortable going out there and touching people again. And there's many teachers who are kind of new to the practice. And I know during our teacher training from COVID on, we didn't do so much adjusting because of COVID. So there's this whole gap for either because you kind of got used to not doing it or because you never really learned it about adjusting, touching, and supporting people with a physical touch. And I just will tell you a little bit my perspective. I love to touch people while I'm teaching. I do it from a really deep, I would say, experience of touching bodies and kind of understanding, approach, that the way of touching something someone very directly and clearly, and leaving hopefully with ease, right? And because I've been touching bodies pretty much all my life, I started as a massage therapist, a dancer, and now a yogi. So it comes fairly easy to me. So it's hard to translate it to those who have never touched bodies and have to learn. But what I want to say, I want to give you a couple tips today about at least one thing you could do to start to observe people, and maybe eventually you'll learn to touch them, to support them. And to remember when we go in for an adjustment, or it's there's all kinds of, we do in our training, we talk about all the levels of adjusting someone, not to fix them, not to make them wrong, but to support that opening of it's really the natural alignment of our body when we're at our best. And it's kind of a progression, because we can't, if we're living like this, it's hard to stand up. So getting to this takes a little while, right? So that's part of the process of yoga. So going back to very basics, Tadasana, right? How do we even get people into Tadasana? And if you don't teach the original Tadasana ever, and you can't see it when you're looking at your students, are they really in it? And how do I adjust them verbally and sort of demonstrating, and then maybe with some touch to get there? It's a long story. I'm not going to have time to do that here, but let's just remember a couple things that are important about Tadasana. And I'm going to show you a couple tricks you can do in your class or at home. First of all, remember Tadasana, standing tall. Ideally, this hip bone, this greater trochanter space should be, sorry, I'm in my kitchen, should be over your ankle. You probably can't see this right now, but over your ankle. I tend to sit forward a little bit, my hips in front of my ankle, so I've got to bring it back, and it really feels back for me, right? So learning the visual cue for yourself to move those hip bones over the ankle. Now, and learning in the process of what it feels like in your legs when they start working, as opposed to hanging in my back or something, is a key for you as a teacher, right? Because you can't really do much on the upper shoulders unless you've got that lower body. If I don't adjust my lower body, all of this keeps falling down. There's a cute, really nice thing you can do, and I'm going to first show you on my door. Here in my kitchen, I have this door. I can pull it out. And then I'll show you on the wall, which is what you'll probably have more of in your studio. But if you can get people on the door, you can show them. You get on the edge of the door. I'll go like this so you can really see this side. And because I have this hair thing bun, I'm going to pull it up because I want the back of my head. I'm going to bring my feet as close as I can. It's quite actually a lot of work. Get my feet under and push through my feet and move my sacrum on the wall, the corner of the door, and the back of my shoulders and the back of my head. And then just press through my feet to get kind of the weight in there. Now that's such an it feels so odd, It also feels really good. You can cue to breathe. And really, it's really teaching me to sit up tall, stand up tall. I've been sitting at the desk. So then when you walk away from that, you ask people to stay, kind of keep feeling that. Imagine the wall still on you, and I have to really lean back for my feeling. And you'll already see in their bodies that, whoa, they're standing up. Everything starts to stack. The shoulders stack, the head stacks. It's very interesting. The other way you can do it is do it just on the wall, of course. So that edge is really nice because it goes down your back. Sorry, but my wall's not perfectly flat, but just imagine it is, right? So same thing, I put my feet on the wall. This is a little bit sticking me out, but because of these handles, but shoulders up, and I get why do I get my out of the way? Because this is either gonna force me down too much, you know, actually for me that's good right there. Down is good. But sometimes people they're so used to looking up, they'll put the back of their head too low, right? Get my hair out of the way and then open up. Oh. Hips on the wall, chest on the wall, feet pressing. Couple of breaths, let them feel it. You can. So what I do when they're here, I'll come over and I'll set my hands right here on the shoulders, kind of like this. Like these are my shoulders, like this, sort of open. So and I'll just gently kind of spread that and let them feel this area opening. And you come to the side, say, can I just touch your shoulders? And then you just set them, and you just, this part of your hand, the root, so the pressing is kind of opening both sides, and then you just let them stand there with that, you know, right in front of them. Ask them to breathe, you know. Watch that their head is long, that they're not doing this, because this is the habit, right, from sitting low. And and then talk them through what they're feeling, like chest is open, back of the neck is long, legs are working, breath is wide and open. And then if you do that, and you start to bring that into your class, Tadasana, anytime you're starting to move, you know, even in the plank pose, you know, if you go into plank, I'm just pretending, you really feel the same feeling. So it doesn't become this, you know, or this, you know. Really get them to feel this Tadasana and all the different possibilities. You'll start to build, oh, what is long back? What is tall spine? What is strong legs? And then we become all strong mountains. I hope that helped get you inspired to think about it. Now we have 2 wonderful workshops coming up in the next few months that will get you back into your magical hands. I have so many people tell me they're so appreciative that I'm touching them, that nobody's touching them very much. The teachers are kind of talking, but not, and they said it's so useful for someone to show me. I never understood that until you touched me. So Leah Klein is coming in March with her adjustment module, 2 weekends. Very good, from the base up, you know, boom, 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 through all kinds of asanas, looking, touching, verbal cues, all of that. And Simon Lowe from the UK is coming in April with his flow and creative, and he'll be doing some adjustment in there, but also sequencing and things. So namaste, hope to see you soon.